That fight on Showtime be on the Showbox brand or like regular Showtime?
I believe it'll be on Showbox, but that hasn't been completely finalized.
How confident are you that you're not going to have the illness again?
So I feel much better now. It takes a little time to recover, and I was in Austria to recover faster, and yeah, I got some illness, but that's happened. It's normal for sport. Sometimes it's like this, but I do always my best to be fast in the ring, and I want to fight, and I want to clear who's the number one, and I think I am the number one. My title is not given, it's earned. I have the fight against Claressa for the unification WBO and WBC champion, and so it's sad for me to see my belt is another hand, but I don't lose my belt, so I'm the champion, so we have to clear it in the ring. That's the only option.
Christina, Claressa, she's a two-time Olympian, so she has not much to prove as way of talent, but what makes you think you have an advantage over her? What do you think you can bring to the table that she hasn't seen before?
So I'm a long-time champion. I have 23 and 0 fights. I have a lot of experience. I'm much taller than all of my opponents and than Shields. So I use my reach very good, and my footwork is better than hers. So I know what I have to do in the ring.
She's actually been down before too, and I think the second to last fight she's been in, she was actually caught with an uppercut. Yeah, she was caught. Do you think that you have more pop in your punch than her because she hasn't had a knockout? Do you think that's also a thing that you can take advantage of as well?
Yes, I think so.
What will you be looking for when you watch her tonight?
I think it will be a good fight for her and Femke Hermans. But I think Shields will be winning. Good. Because I want to beat her.
Christina, in your opinion, with these kind of big events for women, what is the future of women in boxing? Talking about this big event, what do you think about the future of women in boxing?
So it's great tonight to see all these women on one event, and it's great to see how female boxing is growing and growing, and that makes the top.
How did you choose boxing? I mean, why boxing? Because I believe it's the only sport that you cannot play.
Yeah, you can't play boxing, that's right.
You cannot play boxing, right?
Yeah, but I love boxing. Boxing is my passion. I love these tough sport, like one against one, who beats who, and I want to beat always my opponent.
Finally, give me your fight of the year, please. Fighter of the year. That's it. Only.
That's it.
Yeah, the fight of the year. Only two. Only two.
Only two. I think fighter of the year, I like Usyk very much.
Okay, I agree with you.
And the fight of the year, it's Triple G and Canelo.
Okay. Finally, something for.
Ask her who she thought won the Triple G.
Okay. Hey, could you repeat this one? Please tell me.
I didn't rehearse the question.
Okay, for you, who won the fight? I mean, the second one.
The second one, it was very, very close, but my heart is broken because Triple G lose, and so it was very close, but in my opinion, Triple G won this fight.
Okay, finally, I have a channel who is dedicated mostly for Latin people and mostly Mexicans. I don't know if you know this. You have a lot of followers from Mexico. What can you tell to the Mexican people, please?
I don't speak Mexican.
No. English is good.
English is good?
English is good, yeah.
Yeah, I love all these Mexican fans, and I thank you for all your support, and the big fights are coming, and stay tuned.
Okay, thank you.
You and Claressa shared a card together and had some words after that. What were your impressions of her?
You think the last time in the ring?
In the ring,
yeah.
When
you fought on the same show afterwards when you were...
Yeah, I think it was great to see something happens inside the ring when we stand in front of it, and so the fans was, oh yeah, something is happening, and yeah, that's boxing. It's sometimes it's showtime, sometimes it's only boxing, victories or everything. So that's normal.
Did those words get personal, like more so than you thought, to the point that you dislike her more, or do you still respect her as a fighter in the ring?
Yeah, I respect her as a fighter, but yeah, I'm looking forward to fight her and to clear all these things who's open and
Did,
yeah,
did
I'm
some of
looking
those,
forward.
did some of her words, did they hurt you, or were they very personal to you, what was said back and forth, especially toward you?
That things are not hurts me not no, because she can tell whatever she wants. I'm not that kind of people like oh you can try to provocate me, but these things don't touch me.
Okay.
What would be
But
the
I
biggest-
know how I can provocate her.
Oh, you know how to provoke
Yeah,
her?
it's very easy.
How's that? Please share that with us.
What will be the biggest challenge when you fight her?
Again,
What will be your biggest challenge when you fight her in the ring?
she will be the biggest challenge I have.
Why is that? What makes her the biggest challenge?
Because we are two champions. She's a IBF and WB, IBF and
WBA.
WBA champion.
Yeah.
And I think the people want to see this unification fight, who is the undisputed champion, and that will be the biggest fight and the game changer in boxing.
You're pretty familiar with the way she fights. How do you think you would adjust yourself to her style of fighting?
Again,
Like how would you prepare your strategy to fight her with her style?
So I watch her fights a long time since I think the Olympics. My coach and I, we start to prepare something and start to do something in the training because I know, since the few years, I know she will be my opponent in the future. And she's 2 times Olympic medalist. She's a great boxer and aggressive one. So I know what to do in the ring because I prepare a long time, and so I'm a smarter one than her, and yeah.
Regarding your illness, it had already delayed the fight with Shields. Did it delay your training at all? How long were you away from the ring? Just tell us about that, going through that illness.
Yeah, I had an inflammation in my stomach, so my doctor don't allow me to fight till December. So 2 months I can't train very well, and so now I try my best to be faster in the ring and to be prepared for the next fight. So I do my best for it because I want to fight.
Was that the longest span of time you kind of stayed away from the sport?
I never stay away from the sport. I'm always like do something, and if that's normal, that's my job to keep myself in shape best as I can.
Your English is great, by the way. Do you think that that's going to help you grow a fan base here in the United States?
Again, sorry.
Your English is great. Do you think that's going to help you grow a fan base in the United States?
I think my English is not so great.
No, it's
You want to ask her a
Very
question
good.
in German or Russian, she can answer it also.
Your Spanish is better. I like your Spanish.
Yeah, very good. So I like the support in America because female boxing is here growing and growing, and that makes me happy when the people come to me and say, "Oh, Lady Hammer, can we take a picture?" and so something like this. It's great.
Christina, okay, everyone knows that's the most anticipated fight between you and Claressa Shields. But what does it mean to you, and how bad do you want it?
It means a lot because every boxer needs a big fight, like one champion against another champion. And I won this fight because that's history, and never some fight is happening before. And I won this fight because I want to be the undisputed champion.
Are you going to have your training camp here in the United States, or are you going to train back home in Germany?
I train a lot of time in Germany and prepare for all my fights there. But maybe we can handle some training camp in Los Angeles or in America. Why not?
You like it here?
Yes, it's nice. The weather is good, perfect to cut weight.
She'll probably do most of her preparation over there in Germany with her coach. Her coach is from Ukraine, so her coach has a lot of, you see the Ukrainian boxing system now with Usyk and Lomachenko and the Nail. But if she fights over here, she hasn't decided 100%, but if she fights here, she'll probably have maybe the last 2 weeks of her training camp to get adjusted to the time zone and also to do some publicity for the fight.
If you had a choice of venue here in the U.S., what would be your preference? Like if you had a choice, California, maybe at Staples, or
where would you want
it? Madison Square Garden or somewhere like that. Do you have
California is very great. I like it. So why not? It's my first time, but maybe not the last time.
You expect to go into the ring, assuming Shields wins tonight? Do you want to go into the ring and confront her again?
No, I don't go in the ring. Because in German there's one sentence, since which time comes the bone to the dog? You know? There's one sentence in German.
Can you say it in German?
You understand German?
No, but you can. You just told me what it was.
Okay.
I'll translate.
Seit wann kommt der Knochen zum Hund?
So to translate that or to expand on that is like, when do you bring the reward to the dog, for example? Not in the literal sense, but
yes.
Like, if she's a champion, she doesn't have to go in the ring. And just to expand on the fight with Claressa, I mean, Claressa's on a tremendous trajectory where she's at. Not only her amateur experience with her gold medals, but look, with 7 fights now, she fought on Showtime, then she was on DAZN, and now she's on HBO. So she's getting a lot of television attention, and having 2.5 or 3 of the world titles and being on track to be undisputed, Claressa has a tremendous success so far in her career. Christina feels, with her titles and her experience as a professional, and look how she's 5'11", much bigger than what Claressa is. So she'll use her experience, her ring IQ and strategy to try to beat and outbox Claressa to become the undisputed champion. These are the fights. A lot of times with men boxing, the champions won't fight each other. I mean, we see perfect examples the heavyweight division, and for there to be an undisputed champion in female boxing, this will definitely be one of the biggest fights ever. Female boxing, 2 champions fighting each other in their primes, and with the television exposure that Claressa's getting, and all the exposure that Christina has, it'll be a tremendous fight.
How did you feel about this being HBO's final show and all that, being a part of the environment? How did she take it? I would imagine she would have liked to fight on HBO at some point in her career, but obviously that's not going to happen. But how are you taking that? HBO's final show.
HBO's.
Was you the question?
Yeah, for you. I was looking at Tom, but it's for you.
Usually people like to look at her and see. So how do you feel being at HBO's last show live here with the atmosphere?
So it's a little bit sad that HBO, it's the last show. So, but it's great to see that HBO do it on a female boxing event and show Cecilia Break, who's an undisputed champion, on this last show.
Was it a dream of yours to fight, as a young girl, to fight on HBO? Was that a dream of
Sure,
yours?
I think every boxer, it's a dream from everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Male or female, yeah, 100%.
Are there many young girls from your country that look up to you and want to be like you?
I hope so.
And who did you look up to as role models in boxing? Men and women?
Most of the time I look up to men, because I'm not that skinny or a small woman. Mm-hmm. So men in this division are very tough, like Triple G. And yeah, I like male boxing very much. Tonight is also Lomachenko is fighting, and I like his style so he's very quick and fast.
And when you were younger, who did you watch growing up?
I remember that I loved Mike Tyson. He was very dramatic and amazing knockouts, and that is so fascinating.
Can German boxing for women return to the heights as it was when Regina Halleck and Daisy Land were fighting? Can it reach that level again?
Yeah, I think so.
Is it far away, or is it still?
No, it's not far away.
$1 million paydays?
With the right television exposure, David, Regina Hamlick, she was fighting on network television, so that's why she became so popular. She was on talk shows, really had a lot of mainstream media. And like we're seeing now with the television exposure for the female boxers. It just takes a little bit of publicity, and the talent is there, and then they'll return. I mean, that was kind of a special time, but Regina was very unique because she did have this mainstream support in the media. But I think with the right talent, like Christina, let's say, for example, let's say if Christina comes over here to fight in the United States, anything that happens here, like we see this with Cecilia. Cecilia would sell out 10,000 seat arenas in Norway. But when she fights over here, or Triple G's another perfect example, when they fight over here, when Triple G fights in Madison Square Garden and fills it up, it's front page news in Kazakhstan. When Cecilia fights in over here in Norway, it's front page news. And the same thing will be if Christina fights over here, wins the Undisputed Championship, that'll be huge news in Germany. That'll really elevate her profile, because everything that happens here gets reported back into the home countries, and it definitely is, yeah, even bigger.
Of all the careers that you could have, so you chose boxing, you ever thought about being a model?
Yeah, I do this kind of modeling, and I'm a few times do like a lingerie model and an actor for sports bras and something like this. Yeah.
She's modeling and boxing, Mohammed. If you follow her Instagram,
you can check everything.
You can check it out.
Speaking on that, Claressa was very vocal online about you doing modeling, and she was kind of criticizing you on it. Do you feel she maybe underestimates you, because to her maybe she feels you don't focus solely on boxing and you're out here having other, experiences with modeling and outside the sport?
So I'm always focused on boxing because that's my job and that's my passion, and I think I'm blessed that I can do modeling and boxing. Not everybody can do it, and it's not for everyone.
What message would you give the young girls trying to break into boxing today?
So I think young girls have to believe in yourself. Don't be shy to go in the boxing gym. It makes you feel confident, and you feel much better when you can fight for yourself. And training boxing is the best workout.
You turned pro when you were 18. You won your first title at 20. How much longer do you plan on boxing? Do you see yourself still in boxing for quite a...
That's a good question. I think maybe 30, 31. But first step and first goal, it's Undisputed Champion. I don't step back when I don't reach these goals.
Besides achieving that, you have a wish list?
A wish list? That 2019 will be much better, and the fight Shields again, Hammer versus Shields, happen next year, and all these belts come to me.
Right now, the women fight 2-minute rounds. Do you think they should go to 3? Do you think the women should go to 3-minute rounds versus 2-minute rounds?
That's not my...
She just follow the rules, whatever the rules are, yeah. I think with her condition, she's always extremely good condition, so I think she would be...
could certainly fight 3-minute rounds. It's not a physical issue, it's a rule-making issue at this point.
In UFC, the women fight the same amount of rounds as the men in minutes, so why not in boxing?
I don't know, I don't make the rules.
I know, but I'm saying, would you like to fight the 3-minute rounds, 12-round championship fights?
Yeah, why not? It's I think it's much bigger rounds and much more minutes, but when you prepare good and when you're professional, you can fight these also in the ring.
One advantage of the 2-minute round, though, is you'll see a lot more action in the female fights because they don't have to go the 3 minutes. They know they can exert more energy, more excitement during those 2 minutes. So, she would be ready to fight either 2 or 3-minute rounds, but the rules are the 2-minute rounds. She respects the rules, especially the WBC rules of 2-minute rounds, and so she's a WBC champion and 100% follow all the rules.
Of course.
feel everybody good with the
Good.
question and
Yes,
answers?
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.